When you think of Edinburgh, what comes to mind? Castles? Festivals? Well, what if I told you it's not really one city at all? We're looking at a place with a total split personality, a deep and fascinating divide, a real Jekyll and Hyde situation that's baked right into its very stones. And this quote, it just nails it. You see, Edinburgh has always been this living contradiction, a real battleground for ideas. On one side, you've got the Athens of the North, this incredible hub of enlightenment and reason. But on the other, it's a city completely wrapped up in folklore, shadows, and a serious obsession with all things dark and spooky. And the craziest part is, this isn't just some abstract concept. You can literally see it in the city's layout.
I mean, just look at the city itself. This comparison says it all. You've got the Old Town, which is this incredible vertical chaos. We're talking a medieval maze of dark, narrow alleys, they call them closes, and buildings that just shoot straight up into the sky. And then, right across the valley, you have the New Town, and it's the total opposite. It's all about neoclassical order, wide, elegant streets, and perfect symmetry. It's like two completely different cities staring at each other.
So you have to wonder, right? How does a city end up like this? Well, believe it or not, it all starts with the ground it's built on. The whole story is right there in the landscape, a drama of stone and shadow created by ancient fire and ice.
Okay, so let's go way back. We're talking millions of years. That iconic Castle Rock, it's actually the hardened core of an ancient volcano. So when the Ice Age hit, massive glaciers scraped across Scotland. They carved away all the soft rock around it, but they just couldn't break down this super tough volcanic plug. What that left was this perfect defensive hill, the crag, with a long sloping ridge trailing behind it, the tail. And that tail would become the famous Royal Mile. This one geological event basically dictated the entire shape of the city for centuries.
Now, that valley I mentioned, the one separating the old and new towns, for hundreds of years, it wasn't the beautiful park you see today. No way. It was the Nor Loch. Think of it as a toxic moat. Yeah, it was a defensive barrier, but it was also the city's open sewer, and a pretty grim spot where they'd carry out witch ducking. But then, in the 19th century, they took on this massive engineering project and drained the whole thing. And what was once a disgusting, stagnant swamp became Princes Street Gardens, the gorgeous green space that now physically connects the city's two halves.
And this split isn't just physical, you know? It runs much deeper. It's in the very soul of the city. For every brilliant idea born from the age of reason, there's this dark undercurrent, this deep, fascinating obsession with myth and all things macabre.
Just think about it. On one hand, you have the Scottish Enlightenment. We're talking about intellectual giants like David Hume and Adam Smith, guys who literally changed the world and made Edinburgh the capital of reason. But at the exact same time, those dark alleys were hiding a whole different world. The best example, a guy named Deacon Brodie. By day, he was a respected city councilman, but by night, he was a thief, a gambler, a total housebreaker. And get this, his double life was the direct inspiration for Robert Louis Stevenson's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's not a metaphor, it's a true story from these very streets.
So what was it actually like to live in the Old Town back then? Honestly, just imagine a pressure cooker. The city was walled in, so it couldn't grow out, it could only grow up. We're talking buildings reaching up to 14 stories high. These were basically the world's first skyscrapers, and they were crammed together, creating the most densely populated spot in all of Europe. And this meant everyone, rich, poor, nobles, beggars, was forced to live literally stacked on top of each other in the very same buildings.
And living like that? Well, it was an experience, let's just say. Especially for your nose. See, with no plumbing, they had this nightly ritual. Every night at 10 p.m. sharp, windows would fly open and you'd hear the shout, "Guardialoo." That was your one and only warning to get out of the way because everyone was about to throw their household waste, and I mean everything, right out into the street below. It's a pretty gross detail, right? But it tells you everything you need to know about why they nicknamed the city Old Reekie or Old Smoky.
The wild thing is, this tension isn't just some relic of the past. It's still completely alive today. You can feel it in the city's daily and yearly rhythms. It's this constant push and pull between incredible order and just absolute wonderful chaos.
Let's start with order. Every single day, except for Sundays, right at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, boom, a cannon fires from the castle. It's a tradition that's been going since 1861, originally to help sailors set their watches. Now, the locals don't even flinch, but for everyone else, it's this sudden blast of absolute predictable order puncturing the day. Okay, but then you have the total flip side.
For 1 month, every August, all that order gets thrown out the window. The Edinburgh Festival Fringe takes over. We're talking the biggest arts festival on the planet. The city's population literally doubles, and every single space, pubs, churches, caves, becomes a stage. It is a complete and utter explosion of the best kind of creative anarchy.
And that wild side is always bubbling just beneath the surface. You've got these incredible traditions, like the Beltane Fire Festival on Kelton Hill, this ancient Gaelic celebration to welcome summer with drums and fire. Or how about Hogmanay, their huge New Year's party? The day after, hundreds of brave, or crazy, souls do the Looney Duk, which means they run and jump into the freezing cold North Sea. Then there's the more unusual stuff, like spitting on the heart of Midlothian for good luck. Fun fact, it started as a way to show disgust for the old prison that used to be there. Only in Edinburgh.
So where does that leave the city today? What happens when this centuries-old battle of identities meets the 21st century? Well, the struggle is still very much alive. But now it's a fight between preserving this incredible, unique past and charging headfirst into a really innovative future.
And this really gets to the heart of the challenge for modern Edinburgh. It's a city being pulled in two totally different directions. On the one hand, its whole identity is wrapped up in being a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The economy runs on tourism, on that Gothic charm that people travel across the world to see. But on the other hand, Edinburgh has massive ambitions. It wants to be the data capital of Europe, it's got this amazing bioquarter doing cutting-edge science, and a massive goal to be net zero by 2030. So the big question is, how do you protect a priceless historic city from being loved to death by tourists, while at the same time trying to build a super modern, high-tech future? That's the puzzle they're trying to solve right now.
Which really leaves us with one final big question. For hundreds of years, Edinburgh has been defined by its contradictions. It thrives on them. Light and dark, reason and myth, order and chaos, that's its magic. But in a world that's changing faster than ever, you have to wonder, can a city with two souls truly survive as one?